You are listening to Digging In Podcast, presented by Rooted Wealth Advisors.
Welcome back to another episode of the Digging In Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Kelly, helping you get those questions answered to and through retirement. Today, to start off the new year, 2023, we're talking goals with my guy, Joey Bags Mateja. How you doing? New you? New year, new you?
New year, new me, Kinch, new goals, personally, professionally, all around.
All right, let's dig in. What are those goals? That's a broad question.
Yeah, it is a very broad question. I'll give you the layup, right? I'm going to lose some weight, right? 40 pounds by June 1st.
That's specific.
Yes,
it's very
it
specific.
Is very specific. I think when you are setting goals, it needs to be specific, right? It can start at a high level, but if you don't have a destination, how do you know if you're doing the right things, right?
Right.
So, 40 pounds, June 1st, down 3.6 so far.
There you go. Keep on trucking. Keep on trucking. Any other goals you want to share?
I've got some income goals. The wife and I want to take Avery to the beach. She's been asking to go to the beach for about a year now. So not sure what that looks like. We've done some brainstorming. We've got a few locations picked out, but we'll see. We'll see how that happens.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. Very cool. I also am on the goals train. My wife and I use some of our time away on our trip to just talk about goals. We have these different categories, spiritual, physical, family goals, finance goals, all that stuff. The goals just in general, I feel like if you don't write them down, much harder to achieve, but also they just help keep you accountable. And when you talk to somebody else about them, whether it's your spouse or your financial advisor, to help keep you on track for those, it's not really like a slap on the hand if you're not doing it like a lot of people think. It's just kind of a, how do we redirect, right? Yeah,
I think there's a lot of truth to that, Kinch. I think that without goals, what are we really doing? And there's no right without a goal, you don't have a purpose, right? And I think that we as human beings need a purpose, right? To feel as though we have meaning to our every day, every week, every month, et cetera, right? Otherwise, it just feels like Groundhog Day,
right? And we don't want Groundhog Day. No, that day's coming up, and my dad sends me the GIF every here we are again. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to prevent, right? We would like to grow. We would like to develop ourselves more in all these other areas. I feel like that's really a key component of growth, of striving to become a better person in all of these areas. So
call it the shampoo effect, by the way.
Shampoo effect.
Yeah, read the back of any shampoo bottle. What does it say?
Rinse, repeat.
Wash, rinse, repeat.
Okay. All right.
Boring. Wash, rinse, repeat.
Right. It needs to be more dynamic. Yes. Absolutely. I agree. So as we're talking about these goals, there has to be some common goals that you've seen in your career as a financial advisor.
Yeah.
What do you think are probably the most common goals that people
The most common goal that I hear, Kinch, far and above anything else when folks come and sit down, that I hear is I want to retire by a specific age. Right, insert age here. And I think there's a misconception commonly, too. A lot of folks think that they're not allowed to retire until a certain age. And I'm referring to Social Security, right? You get your Social Security statement, and it says full retirement age, 66 in some months or 67 in some months. And people think, I feel in the back of their mind that that's when I'm allowed to retire, right? I can't do it before then. I could do it after, but I can't retire before then. And I think that's unfortunate because a lot of folks can and just have this mindset that they're not allowed to. So
that's interesting that people feel like they're held to an arbitrary number that's set by the government.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Like that feels so off base to me. All right, so what's the flip side of that? There's got to be some uncommon goals that you've seen the other side of that coin.
For me, let me give you mine, for example, right? I have an uncommon goal, maybe not so uncommon, but I have some specific goals, right? I have an age. That age for me is 55. And
to live to?
Yeah, sometimes it feels that way.
To retire by.
No. But,
Okay.
And when I say retirement for me doesn't necessarily mean that I'm done working. Right. Retirement for me is I work if I want to because I enjoy what I'm doing, but I don't have to, right? I don't live paycheck to paycheck, but I am not in a position at 41 to hang it up if I so chose to. Right, and live the lifestyle that I want. Right. Okay, so but what is that for me? That is a nice house. It's the ability to travel 3 times a year. Yes, it's a very specific number. That's a goal that my wife and I have. What is travel for us? Travel for us is not just domestic. Go to Disney with Avery, but it's international travel. We have some destinations. We know what it's going to cost us. At least we have an idea. Right. So we have some very specific travel goals, which is a common goal for folks. But I think that a lot of people don't take it to that next step. A lot of people say, I want to travel. And then my follow-up question is always, where do you want to go? Well, I don't know. Right? That's a common response.
You feel like most people don't have a list?
Most people don't have a list. They have an idea. Take me to the beach. Okay, well, which ones? Right?
Right.
Or take me to the mountains. Which
ones?
Right.
Yeah.
And that is, I know you didn't ask this question, but that's kind of a New Year's resolution that I've had also personally, or a goal for this year professionally. I want to make sure that every person that I meet with, I'm asking some specific goal questions, right? Tell me about your retirement. Oh, you want to travel? Where? Give me a destination, right? What are your dreams? What's the dream vacation?
Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, let's get down to the nitty gritty. I had a meeting a couple of days ago, Kinch, with some folks, current clients, and we were just meeting for a review. And, their concern was the markets, and we talked a little bit about performance and things of that nature. But their main concern or question coming in was, are we still on track to retire at 67? It was the age question. Right. And they had no issues with that. They're still on track for that. Their plan that we put together is working exactly the way it's supposed to, which is great. But then I followed it up with a deeper question, and I asked them, what are you going to do? What do you want to do? They had a loss in the family, but they had some inheritance, and they just bought a Disney vacation package of some kind.
Disney vacation
package. And I said, oh, so you guys like Mickey Mouse, you like the Disney thing, and they're fanatics. They travel to Disney 3 to 5 times a year. That's their thing.
And you didn't know this before the review?
I didn't know this.
Okay.
And come to find out that their dream is, and they think it's a pie in the sky dream, will never happen. Their dream is to retire early, so before 67. They would love to move to Florida and work any job that they can get at Disney World. That's what they want to do in retirement.
Any job, so even like sweeping up with a broom.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. He said, you know what? I'll drive the bus to and from the resorts to the parks. Because that's heaven to me. I said, okay, why don't you think you can do this? Right. And it comes out, well, we just don't think that we have enough money. We can't do it. Well, what if you could? If you could do it, would you? And the response was, we would do it tomorrow. So, through some questions and digging a little deeper, we kind of figured out, okay, what's this going to cost if we were to do it now, if we were to do it 2 years from now, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. What's that going to look like? Where are we going to live? What are our expenses going to be? We figured out the math, right? The data of this dream. Mm-hmm. And, we've got another visit scheduled for 2 weeks, and I'm going to get with our planning team, and we're going to put together a plan to show them how to achieve that dream. And, without even showing this plan to them, they left here more excited than I think I've ever seen anybody leave, right? Because now all of a sudden in their mind, they're thinking to themselves, oh my, maybe I can do this. Right. Holy cow, right? We can live our dream, right? It won't be a dream forever. So
That is so cool, and that loops back to our previous conversation about leadership.
Yes.
Right, and how we were changing our thinking about people wanting to be led, not necessarily asking. I don't know that too many people raise their hand and say, "Hey, I want to be led," but people just naturally want to be led, and for you to step in as the financial advisor and to just ask a few more questions that aren't necessarily cookie cutter questions, but you just digging a little deeper, more than just the surface level, finding out the why, and then trying to make what they thought was impossible, trying to make that happen.
Yeah, I'm trying to phrase some questions differently in my visits to figure out the why, but to also understand the what, right? What is the dream? And then I feel as though it is our job, it's our responsibility to show them the how. Right? These folks, I think, are going to be in a position to achieve that dream, but they're going to need to make some changes, right? They may have to save some more. They may, there will be some tweaks to their plan. Right. But I think it is absolutely attainable. I think it's possible at a high likelihood that they're going to be able to do this. And to your point, Kinch, it's really kind of my responsibility to lead them down the path to achieve that goal. Yeah. Right. So I'm excited for that.
When they left here, they were ecstatic.
Yes.
They were absolutely ecstatic. And they told everybody on their way out the door what had just happened. Yeah. And we're talking about Disney and the mouse and their grandkids that like to go and how they used to take their family with their grown kids. Like, it was just all these memories and their dreams combined, and it was just like you had let the genie out of the lamp. Right. And it let their imagination just run wild with possibilities. That's got to feel pretty good that you had a part to play in that.
Super satisfying. Even though we didn't leave that visit the other day with the plan in place, just the idea that we could, as an advisory firm, help somebody live their dream it was super satisfying. I mean, I went home, I told Sarah about it. It was I mean, I guess not to sound corny, but it was emotional, right? It was moving.
Yeah. And money is emotional, right? Either negative or positive. Like, money is an emotional driver. And so for you to help them realize that maybe this is a possibility, maybe years before they thought possible, just a mix of emotions just running wild. That's awesome. Why do you think most people are maybe reserved in sharing some of those more unique goals?
I think there's a number of reasons, Kinch. The two that come to mind are fear of how their unique and individual dream will be perceived by others, right? I think it's human nature that we want to be liked and we want to be accepted, right? Yes. And if I've got a unique, to me, dream, maybe I'm fearful of what you're going to think about it.
But that's what we do.
It is what we do.
That's what there are definitely a common thread, but like, we really thrive and specialize on those unique opportunities.
Yeah, and then I think there's just this idea, this kind of roadblock mentally, that my dream is so far-fetched, whatever it is. Right. But my dream is so far-fetched that, and I'm not even going to talk about it. Like, it doesn't even matter, right? Because I can't do that, right? Well, what if you could? I think there's a lot of truth to the what you probably tell your kids, and I tell Avery, is that you can do whatever you set your mind to, but there has to be a path, right? It can't just be, I want to be an NBA basketball player. Well, you need more than the want, right? You need talent, but beyond that, you still need discipline, and you need practice. You need a regimen. You need to have a plan, right? I want to be a police officer. I want to be an astronaut. You have to have steps in place, right? Planned out to achieve that goal.
You just don't get picked out of the crowd to get on the spaceship or to
exactly
to be on the team when they roll the ball out. Right. Like, there are other steps to that process in place.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean that everybody out there can't achieve every single goal and dream that they have, right? That's just life, right? If it were that easy, we wouldn't be sitting here. No, it just happen.
We'd
right?
both be living our retirement dreams already.
Yes,
right?
absolutely. So, so that's a little bit about some of the goals and dreams that I've encountered over my career, and even more recently, and just my dedication to trying to uncover more of the dreams and goals beyond just the data, right? In what we do every day.
That is cool because there are real people behind those hopes and dreams and the data. Yeah. The real people who we feel very passionate about that we can help, which is something I'm super proud to be a part of, as I know you are too. Awesome. Well, I think that'll do it for today. If you want to talk to Mr. Mateja about your hopes and goals and dreams for 2023 and beyond, make sure to give us a call. The number's 815-918-4727. When you call, make sure you heard about Rooted right here on the Digging In podcast. We'll get you a copy of the book that Joe helped Zach write, Your Retirement Lifeblood. Again, that number is 815-918-4727. And until next time, keep digging in.
This was Digging In Podcast, presented by Rooted Wealth Advisors.